Hi. The video this week is one that's very personal to me, so I'm just going to jump right in. It's what do you do when a loved one doesn't want to accept help? And I really debated about how to do this video because I could give you all the factual stuff that you could just look up online and call it a day and keep myself protected, but I don't know that that's what people really need to hear right now, because I'm pretty sure you've already looked things up online or else you wouldn't be here. So I'm actually going to give links to a couple of great articles in the blog, because it is about important information. But bear with me as I work through this with you today. And I'm Kim Long. I'm with Docha Psychological Services in Spruce Grove, Alberta. And also, if I'm looking down, just so you know, I have a little cheat sheet where I scribbled a whole bunch of notes on it. This is very personal to me. For those of you that know me, you know that my dad is my hero, and I love so many things about him. And unfortunately, my dad had struggled off and on throughout his life with addiction. He was an alcoholic when I was growing up, one of those binge alcoholics. And, you know, they kept it really well hidden from us girls for the most part. And then when my mom passed away, Dad fell off the wagon pretty hard. And he started using, or maybe had been using, prescription drugs as well as alcohol. And it was painful to watch because he had always kind of held it together for us. And I remember thinking, like, Dad, you have two daughters who love you, who would do anything to get you into treatment and get you any help that you need. You have, at the time, my sister's children were really young. I'm like, you have grandbabies that you could be enjoying life with. And I remember asking him one day, what are you doing? And he said to me, Kim, I don't trust anything as much as the drugs or alcohol to numb the pain I feel. And that's when I learned the most important thing that I can share with you today if you're struggling with what to do when someone doesn't want help. And that is that it's not about you. If it was, they wouldn't be hurting. It's not about them loving you or loving you enough. There is nothing that you can say or do that would make them make a different choice. The choice has to be theirs. And they'll either get there on their own or they won't. And that's not on you. They don't trust that anything will change at whatever moment they're in that they're rejecting help. They don't trust that different is better. And maybe most importantly, they don't trust themselves to cope with the pain that they feel. And that can be terrifying to ask them to approach it. And so all we can do is continue to love them and set boundaries for ourselves of what we will and will not tolerate in our interactions with them, whether they're addicts or struggling with mental illness or doing self-destructive things. It doesn't matter. This applies to whatever struggle your family member is having. You have the right to set some boundaries for yourself and still love them. And it's kind of called sitting with open hands, where you let them know everything that could help them is available to them, and that you are there when they are ready, but that you're not going to drag them kicking and screaming. You can't do that. And sometimes even sitting with open hands, they're never ready. And that's okay too, because I can't imagine the struggle that someone must feel to feel so hopeless about help that they won't even try it. And that is painful for those of us watching to cope with. So I would just ask that you give yourself some grace and understand that it really isn't about you. You did and are doing as much as you can. Sorry, I'm leaking. And that if you have to keep some distance in order to be ready for them when they're ready, that's okay. So, like I said, the biggest realization for me was that it's not actually within my control and it's not my fault. So I give you that. Thank you for listening to my personal journey. And like I said, I'm going to put up some links to some great articles that explain this a little bit further. And yeah, I encourage you to look at them. And if you or anyone else is needing to talk about this kind of things, please feel free to reach out to us at www.dochapsych.com. And if you like this video and would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button below. And until next time, just take care of yourself and forgive yourself. You're important too. Bye for now.